growing up that I was a UFO baby. It was no joke.
We try to show the Roswell incident, what we know, then the cover-up, and then the ongoing research.
Is that now almost accepted as a fact that it was a cover-up? Or is it still theory?
When you look at all the evidence, I mean, no matter what anybody says, that July 8th, 1947 newspaper we have in our possession, of flying saucer, is a fact. I mean, it's in the Chicago Tribune, it's all over the place. And then the July 9th, no, it's a weather balloon. How much more specific can you get on a cover-up? I feel like if anybody walks in and care if they believe or not, walk out saying maybe, we've done our job.
How did a boy from Wisconsin become like the leading authority of Roswell? How did that happen? Did you have an encounter?
No, I was a skeptic. This was the one case that I wanted to, disprove once and for all. But when we went, we actually met with the rancher's son and his wife. And they described handling the material, especially the material that was paper thin, and you couldn't cut or burn it, but you could crumble it, you could crease it, you could wad it into a ball, and you'd lay it on a table, and it would just flow like water, just smooth right out. And then you'd ask point blank, was this anything you have ever seen before or up to this? And absolutely not. It was not from here.
Why Roswell? Why would a UFO of all places, New Mexico, would it crash? Is there a thought behind that? Was it
all of the nuclear testing, all of the highly sensitive
The rocket
things.
launches at White Sands, it was the hotbed of all military testing.
Robert Goddard. All the stuff going up into the sky.
The 509th, the first atomic strike force, was stationed here in Roswell at that time.
Right. We've got all this open airspace.
Roswell's in the middle of nowhere. There isn't a city for 200 miles around, and it is probably one of the darkest landscapes in the world, in a silence and solitude like no other.
And if you just drive 15 miles out of here, turn right on one of these dark roads, you're in your car, you feel safe. Now just try cutting off your lights, but your engine's still running.
Listen to that safety you hear with the car engine. But imagine not cutting your engine, sitting in the dark, just closing your eyes for 5 minutes in the pitch black, in the middle of the Roswell desert.
The first time we went out to the very debris field, it was like being on another planet.
You can feel
The isolation.
I can't explain it.
And you also can't help but have the feeling, what better place for something to happen?
That's exactly what I'm saying, is you understand it.
The American Broadcasting Company and affiliated stations present Headline Edition with Taylor Grant. Today's edition presents a roundup of the latest developments in the finding of a flying disc. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucer. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brizzell was the man who discovered the saucer. Colonel William Blanchard of the Roswell Air Base refuses to give details of what the flying disc looks like.